that happened. Hey guys, Johnny and Daniel back again with Game of Thrones recap review. This was episode 8 of season 6.
Yep.
And I'll start off. The episode was called No One. And I gotta say, I can't imagine that this episode pleased anyone. This was by far the worst episode of Game of Thrones I've ever seen.
Yeah.
It was not good. I feel sick at how bad this episode was.
It wasn't a bad TV show.
I mean, I was looking at, like, obviously every week I look forward to Game of Thrones, and this was just so anticlimactic for a couple different reasons, honestly. Let's start off talking about Arya. Obviously, No One is referring to becoming No One, you know, the faceless men.
Yep.
And last week we were left with her getting stabbed and getting away, and this one starts out with her basically getting saved by the actress that she saved by stopping the poison.
Yeah. She was killed, and then the waif followed her throughout the city, basically, and she ended up killing. Arya lured the lady into basically a little dungeon.
Basically, yeah, where she was like kind of like hiding out,
and killed her. And the waif is supposed to be like really smart, like Arya, like really smart assassin. How could
smarter than Arya?
How could she not know that she was getting clearly led?
Well, let's start from the top. My main problem with this is last week, Arya was acting so weird. Like, she was out and about, and she knows she's being hunted.
Yeah.
She's out and about without her sword, and then she gets stabbed like an idiot by someone who's clearly there to stab her, and then she runs away, and then this actress just sews her up perfectly fine after she got stabbed literally like half a dozen times.
I don't even care about that, but
I'm like,
so Arya was acting weird,
yes,
so that the waif would come her way. She ends up getting stabbed, which led to Arya going back to the actress. The actress ended up getting killed,
yeah,
which Arya didn't want, and then she ended up killing the lady anyway. So why didn't she just kill her on the fucking bridge right there?
And then obviously you get to the part where she defeats the waif off screen, and then we cut to one of the last parts of the episode where she goes to the Hall of the Faces and puts up the waif's face, and she's there, and she like catches Jack and Hagar kind of like off guard.
Yeah.
And he says, "Oh, you've become No One," which doesn't make any fucking sense to me at all. And then she's like, "No, I'm Arya Stark, and I'm going home." And then she just like walks away, and he's like smiling. What the fuck was the point of her going to Bravos?
Jack and Hagar is probably the most badass assassin in the entire universe of Game of Thrones. He's in his own house basically. How are you sneaking up on him and like catching him off guard?
And like, why was he smiling? Like, what did he accomplish? Did he set out? Did he accomplish what he set out to do with Arya?
It was miscombobulated, and we'll jump to another thing that was miscombobulated. There's so many moving parts in the Blackfish thing. He's like not even a main character, but they're like, "Oh, it's the Blackfish. It's the Blackfish. He's so powerful." He wasn't even the ruler. I didn't even realize this until the episode showed you this. He wasn't even the commander of that siege. Basically, he was just the figurehead, I guess. And then when the real guy came out, Jaime released Edmure from captivity to command everyone to put arms down. Because he basically said, "I'm going to kill every single one of your family, blah, blah, blah. I don't care."
Yeah.
And the guy was like, "Okay, I understand." So he releases him, he goes, he tells his guys to put down the arms, give up the castle, whatever. And then the Blackfish just completely dies. He could have went and helped.
Dies off screen, mind you.
I don't even care about that. Where's the logic in dying for literally no reason? He could have went and helped Sansa.
So initially we get to King's Landing, and Cersei's sitting in the Red Keep, and some of the sparrows, including Lancel, come in. They're like, "Oh, the High Sparrow calls you to the Sept," which is obviously not safe really for her. And she says, "Oh no, it's not going to happen." And they're like, "Oh, well, we're gonna try to take you."
Yeah.
And so the Mountain obviously isn't having that. He takes a shot to the chest, no problem. Chokes the guy, throws him on the ground, and literally
rips his head off.
Decapitates him with his bare hands. Yeah. And then obviously no more fighting after that. They run off, and then Tommen has an announcement in the hall.
So Tommen's in the hall. Cersei tells her, she's like, "Oh, is there an announcement?" And they're like, "Yeah." And she's like, feels obviously disrespected. They basically tell her to go off to the gallery and like stand off.
They didn't even tell her about the announcement to begin with.
Yeah, they didn't even tell her. She wasn't even supposed to be there. Mm-hmm. So he's like, "Oh, thanks to we're going back to like olden religion times." And there's not going to be a trial by combat, which is fine. I think that's a okay turn of events. I wasn't big on the Clegane Bowl anyway. I never thought that was.
We need something to care about now, don't we?
I never thought that was going to happen. I didn't think it made sense.
I mean, a lot of fans wanted it to happen though.
But So that's not gonna happen.
Clearly.
And Cersei is basically just like left there like
she's fucked. Her master of whispers or whatever comes up and says, I looked into what you wanted me to look into, and she says, well, did you find anything? And he's like, oh, I found something, all right.
Yeah.
So I think the rumor that he was looking into is basically going back to the stockpiles of wildfire that Ares supposedly had in the city. I think Cersei's going to try to use that to some sort of advantage to get rid of the sparrows, but we'll see what happens with that. I mean, that'd be an interesting turn of events, obviously. I can't believe I'm saying this. In retrospect, I fucking miss Joffrey. Tommen is a complete useless piece of shit.
that character really sucks. They kind of threw that down the drain.
He's
just a weak character.
He's just a wet blanket.
They need the High Sparrow character because that character is so weak. Joffrey would never need that. He would just be a dick on his own.
Yeah, Joffrey would not be putting up with the high sparrows.
Yeah, he would be like, fuck this.
Yeah, he'd kill them all.
I have hated since they introduced that whole stupid storyline.
It was getting really good until like last episode or one or two ago when Tommen turned sides basically, and it was building up to this big battle.
Which doesn't even make sense because Marjorie, who supposedly taught.
Where the fuck was Marjorie during this?
Wait. Marjorie is still
loyal.
Is still normal.
She's not. She's not brainwashed.
She's playing a part, right? She's
Yeah.
not brainwashed. She is the one that talked to Tommen, and he changed his mind to join them. But he's not acting like he's loyal. Like you think he would tip Cersei off. Oh, I'm still on your side.
Tommen's really brainwashed.
That's what I'm saying. But the only reason he did that was because Marjorie talked to him when he came in, and he was like, "Oh, we'll let you see your wife." He talked to her and then switched sides and became brainwashed. But if she's still,
I don't know what the end game is.
She's not brainwashed. So how did he get brainwashed? He's such a little bitch. I just hate that character.
I don't like Tommen.
He doesn't have his own motivations. He's just like, oh, I'm a little bitch.
Yeah, basically. And Marge, where the fuck is Marjorie? Should she? I realize she's trying to keep to herself. I mean, she has a lot on the line, her brother and all that. But what the fuck's happening with the storyline? I do not understand. It's going downhill. And then what else happened this episode?
Nothing major. I mean, it's just a shit.
Blackfish, Arya, King's Landing, nothing up north.
I mean, the Hound got a couple minutes.
Oh, the Hound. We should probably talk
but that's a tiny little shit. He just basically caught the guys and he cut them up with the axe.
Yeah. So we had the Hound in this episode. Why the fuck was he even in this episode? What the fuck was the development of the Hound in this episode? I mean, I guess at the very end he kind of finds purpose with the Brotherhood without banners, but I don't know. It felt like this episode was edited by a blind person. Who edited? Who directed this? Who did the showrunners really watch this and think, yeah, let's put this episode out there? So then over in Marine, you have Tyrion and Varys. They're kind of discussing what's going on.
Varys just goes off on some secret mission that we have no idea what the hell he's doing.
Where the fuck did this come from? So Varys is going back to Westeros to get ships, I guess, which I guess that would hint at the Greyjoys, but I don't know is he gonna find Yara and Theon, or is he gonna find Euron in the Iron Islands? And then so he just leaves. Then they're sitting in Tyrion and Grey Worm and Missandei are sitting, in the pyramid, and then all of a sudden there's all this fucking commotion, random jump cut. There's all these ships are coming into the bed.
Masters are coming.
The Masters are coming. Okay. Okay. And then Tyrion's just like, oh man. And then it cuts to some other bullshit. Then finally we get back and they're getting fucked. Like catapults are launching from the ships and stuff. Like it looks like hell. And then we have Tyrion up in the pyramid. He's like, man, we're trapped. Like, I don't know, we're gonna have to fight him off and wait for him to get here. And that's what Grey Worm's advising him to do. And then you hear this noise on top of the pyramid almost. And then they're like, who is it? And then Daenerys just walks right in with this triumphant music, and then you see the dragon flying off behind her that clearly dropped her off, and then it just cuts away.
Yeah, you're gonna need that dragon bone.
And then it just cuts away. What the fuck is that supposed to do for any of us? Stop having these fucking big ass triumphant moments with Daenerys. Every episode, they lose their fucking impact. Where's the dragon going? Where are all the
Does she or does she not have control of these dragons?
Where's the military that she was with? All of her forces?
Yeah, where's the Dothraki?
Where are the Dothraki?
There's 2 other fucking dragons.
Where's Daria? Where are the other 2 dragons?
They're still in the fucking thing that they should have let out 5 years ago. I never understood that. She let Drogon out, but never even put him in there, actually. She chained up the other ones for no frickin' reason. Can you control them or not? It doesn't.
I'm telling you, man.
She was scared they were going to hurt everybody. Can you fucking control them or not? This northern, impact coming from up north, the walkers and the whatever the hell they're called. They're gonna have to come down soon, and that's gonna be like a whole season of battles, basically. Yeah. So where the hell is it? This thing has to kick off soon. Where the hell is Bran? What the fuck is he doing?
It's almost like the series is going too slow, but is going like really too fast.
Yeah,
like it's going nowhere fast. Basically,
they spent half of the season with Jaime Lannister with some other characters we do not give a shit about at all.
Like they need to get like going quickly, but they're going like. It doesn't make any sense. It's hard to describe.
There's this big battle for Winterfell coming up, but they haven't even really laid it out.
They haven't established any of that.
The only reason we know it's even coming up next week is because they had a commercial that said, this is happening next week. They haven't really laid it up. There's like no urgency like, this is happening. Like Ramsay isn't preparing for battle as far as we know.
I thought there was going to be something this episode where Jon magically got more forces or something. Like, is that going to happen next episode? I mean, if it does, that's fine, but...
I mean, they even said, we don't have enough people. And they showed a lot from next week in the preview. Mm-hmm. I'm like really worried. Like they didn't give any like good things about Jon at all. They were like, "Oh, this is not good." There's literally no hope at all. Where's Sam? He's been in the season for 10 minutes this whole season.
Yeah, is his dad not like fucking chasing him?
Like where the hell? And where's he going? They gave you a whole 10-15 minute scene of him, and we haven't seen or heard from him.
He told his dad he was going to the Citadel to train. And then he takes his wife and his son and takes the sword and then leaves. So is he going to the Citadel still? Because his dad knows he's going to be there.
I feel like he's just going to show back up at the Castle Black or Winterfell.
And what the fuck's he going to do? He's going to be useless. I mean, he has the sword, which is great. But that equals one good fighter with one good sword.
He's not even a good fighter.
No, I mean, he can give it to someone that is.
Oh, yeah.
I
don't fucking know.
I hope Brienne's going north. I think Littlefinger and his army are going to show up from the Vale.
Yeah,
I think that's what they're banking on at this point. People were saying that two Sansa wrote the letter to at the end of last week, which would make sense, but they didn't even fucking tell us that. So how the fuck am I supposed to know?
I guess this could all come around nicely next week. I don't know, but
it could very well come around nicely, and if they can wrap it up pretty well in episode 10, I'll be feeling good. But right now, I'm just hoping that these last two episodes are really, really, really good. So,
all right, guys, we're done.
I'm sorry for the rant. I hope you guys enjoyed it more than we did. Tell us what you thought and how you're feeling.
My review is a 3 out of 5. What's yours?
Yeah, I'd say 3 out of 5.
3 out of 5. All right, fuck it.
Lowest score we've ever given. I hate it.
We'll see you guys next week.
Peace.